And welcome to the breakdown episode 619, sponsored by Gemini. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I am doing the voiceovers, and I put on this corny ass jingle here to do the voiceover. That's right. Bitcoin credit card from Gemini. Get yourself some Bitcoin and not points. Go to Gemini.com/David G to check out the lineup of Gemini credit cards. Gemini Bitcoin credit card, the Gemini Solana credit card, and you got the Gemini XRP credit card. 4% back in Bitcoin or in Solana or in XRP. Again, Gemini.com/David G. The Breakdown, episode 619, sponsored by Gemini. Click the link, trade $1,000 in crypto, and get $100 in Bitcoin. I mean, what do I say, and where do I start? The markets are the markets. That was the wackest. That was whack. I'm sorry, audience. I'm sorry. I apologize. I I don't know what to say. You know, I've been pondering. I sat and I watched the markets just, obviously pull back. I've I was reading the timeline, whether it's on X, Reddit, watching videos on TikTok, people freaking out. Actually, on TikTok, I gotta say, a lot of people are actually super bullish even during these volatile times. Um, but I've read a bunch of stuff that you guys have been putting out there into the universe, and I don't know. I don't know if you are worried if you're in spot. If you're in spot positions and you've been DCAing, I don't know if you're worried at all. Uh, if you're playing with leverage, you probably lost a lot of money. And as I always say, you shouldn't be utilizing that tool. You don't know how to use it, and you should be sitting comfortably accumulating assets that are worth something. And I don't know how many times I have to repeat that. So usually I come fired up with a monologue here, but I understand. I see the timeline. People are super bearish, and people are, I don't know, like it almost seems like a lot of people are happy that they got it right. Like I'm wondering if these people even hold any sort of Bitcoin, any sort of asset to their name. These are usually some of the people that just get airdropped an NFT and they just roam around just stirring shit up. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But what I do know is this, though. I've been watching the meme economy, and it's eating, in my personal opinion, it's eating itself alive. Honestly, like it really, like it's disappointing. It's a little bit disappointing. I'm not going to lie. It is a little bit disappointing to watch the vamps that are happening right now. I mean, that's the word I'm going to use. You want to call it something else, fine. But we're eating ourselves alive here. It's just weird to watch. Like I want to, I sat back. I talked to a friend. I was like, I really wish we went back to the culture, especially in the memes. And it's just, I don't know, disappointing. It's disappointing. It really shows me that a lot of people haven't found success in the last year and a half. It is homeless behavior. It's on sharing welfare, as I call it. Disappointing. But I know the real memes will ultimately make their comeback. I know that for sure. I've been here way too long. I've seen it. Uh, if I'm wrong on this one, god damn it. But like I've seen it from cycle to cycle. You always come back home. You always come back home. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we have I'm gonna ask him how to pronounce his name because I'm gonna say Murad, but Murad. I'll say it that way, and I'm sure he'll correct me, and I hope he does, so we can continue the conversation without me butchering his name. People butcher my name. I'm accustomed to it. And speaking of Murad, he is backstage. I'm going to bring him right on. Let's get right to talking about this wonderful economy that we're in right now. Murad, what's going? Is it Murad or Murad?
Murad,
Murad, what's going on, man?
pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming. All right, what do you think about the market right now? Before we go into memes and stuff, waking
I'm
up or
bullish.
watching it yesterday, are you bullish still?
BTC to 200K and SPX 6900 to $100 plus.
That's- Okay, and we're gonna talk about us. We're gonna talk about that because I want to get into it. I want to understand the psychology behind SPX. But you're
You
still
know,
bullish on
you know,
Bitcoin. I say that
you know, it's
again.
quite it's quite poetic that the episode is numbered 619. Quite a lot of coincidences there, isn't it?
That's a good one. Caught it. 619, episode 619. We got. All right, all right. Are you watching what's happening in the meme economy where people are just eating each other up here, eating themselves alive in this meme economy?
Not only am I watching it, but I actually predicted this over a year ago. I said that the bottom 85% of the meme coin space is going to be cannibalistic. It's going to be hyper commoditized. There's going to be copies within seconds whenever anything new gets released on every chain, and it's going to get industrialized. It's going to essentially become a systematic scam. So the only way for you to win is to actually join something that has critical mass, something that already has a multi-year track record, something where people truly and genuinely care. And this is supported not only by showing up on social media, but the other side of the coin as well, which is on-chain metrics.
You came out with a list. You came out with a list, but specifically with SPX, you believe that this meme will ultimately hit $8 trillion. Am I correct on that?
Yes, I think $100 billion this cycle and $1 trillion next cycle,
Why?
because it's by far the strongest. I've been in crypto since 2013. It it is the best that BTC, XRP, Cardano, Link, and GME had to offer, combining all of those best elements. Number one diamond handedness, number one full portedness, number one median investment, number one decentralization. And it's the only coin with an actual mission, which is to flip the stock market. Now, I understand that you might be cynical, you might think it's crazy, we're delusional, but if you're smart enough and you're reading between the lines, SPX 6900 is doing to GME GameStop what BTC did to gold. Essentially, it's a very similar sentiment, a middle finger to the system, a middle finger to TradFi. It's a way for us to unite and to actually win together. You earlier, just 3 minutes ago, you said the micro caps are cannibalizing one another. Well, we're trying to transcend that. We're trying to be more mature. Instead of fighting against one another for scraps, we're actually fighting TradFi instead. And it's a much bigger mission where you can actually hit hundreds of billions and trillions rather than trying to scam your friend for a silly watch or something like this.
How do we bring the culture back? Like I fuck with this. Okay, I get rally behind one, send it, flip shit. I love
Exactly.
that. I love that shit. I obviously I've been here a decade plus in crypto. I want to go back to the cypherpunk times. I love it. Middle finger to everybody. How do we get back there when we have 95,000 launch pads?
So the
Every three
answer,
seconds you have a new fucking dog with a dildo and ear coming out, and people are just chasing, chasing, and chasing, and they have absolutely zero conviction.
listen, this is exactly what SPX 6900 is all about. Our motto is stop trading and believe in something. Stop gambling and believe in something. The bottom 99% of crypto Twitter participants, they're cynical, they're nihilistic, they're soulless, and they have no spirit. We're trying to transcend this. We're actually trying to get you to believe in something for once in your life, you know? And so you asked me, how do we actually bring culture back? I'm telling you, we all unite together under one banner, under one coin. We send it to 50 billion plus, 100 billion plus. We're talking SHIB levels, we're talking GME levels, we're talking Dogecoin levels, potentially even bigger. XRP is at 250 billion. I see no reason why we can't reach these heights as well. Most importantly, I'll tell you how to bring culture back. And this is the exact same answer to the question, which is, how do you build an incredible community? How do you build a very cult-like community? The answer is, you make as many poor people rich as possible, right? This is why XRP, to this day, from 2016, it still has a very cult-like community. This is why BTC has a cult-like community. This is why Ethereum has a cult-like community, because they made 100,000 people or more. They took them from poverty into wealth, or at least they took them from middle class to upper middle class. If you do that, then there's a critical mass. You essentially have an army of schizos that are fighting for your cause, that are fighting for the movement, that are fighting for the mission 24/7, even while you're asleep, on TikTok, on YouTube, on Reddit. But we all have to unite under one thing. The problem with this cycle, two things: quantitative tightening and pump fund. These things have essentially fucked the altcoin season this time. So that means the bar for quality is higher. That means the bar for belief is higher. That means the bar for memetics is higher. So we all have to unite under one thing, just like SHIB did, just like Doge did. And that's the only way to send something to 50 billion plus. SPX 6900, the guys who created this, they foresaw the evolution of the space. And that's why since the summer of 2023, they said, stop trading and believe in something. And that means we need to all get together under one banner.
Welcome to the Breakdown, episode 619. I'm joined here by Murad, right? I'm gonna call you Big M. How about that? I like the passion today. I like the passion. Finally, we got the OGs with fucking passion and lit up passion here. You know, I'm fucking tired of watching the dog shit happening here, and I fuck with the whole thesis of rallying around something and believing in something, because at least I'll speak for myself. I believed in the shit that I went into, whether it was Dogecoin. I like that you say that. So hold on, you believe? I'm gonna time out on my thing real quick. You believe SPX will flip Dogecoin,
Yes, I do.
and you think it'll happen this cycle?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So you mentioned QT and you mentioned pump fund. How do you stop people from entertaining the dog shit and finally uniting? And how do you bring leaders back to the fucking table to finally say enough is enough? We need to go ahead and just join together and focus on one thing and send that son of a bitch.
So listen, I'll just take a random crypto Twitter reader as an example, right? Let's say you have $1,000 or $2,000. You essentially have two choices. You invest in a hardcore cult and you become a member like SPX 6900, and you can turn your 1,000 into 100,000 plus. And the probability of you doing that is way higher than in pump fund. And your second choice is essentially to gamble it away. If you actually study Dune analytics, on-chain analytics, all of that, you will know that 97% of people, they either lose money or they don't make anything on pump fund, right? And so I'm saying, why gamble when you can join something which is a much higher probability and there's still 200x, 500x upside? It's such an easy thing. And the people that are in SPX 6900, we already have 200,000 holders. I believe we're going to grow this to 5 million holders. They know that the only way to win is to actually build a trust machine, is to actually build a hardcore community where we support each other, where we uplift each other, where we're all trying to not only attack this on crypto Twitter, but actually the only way for something to go to 50 billion plus is to go beyond crypto Twitter and to go to YouTube, to go to Reddit, to go to TikTok, and to go to Instagram, right? And even to go to Facebook. That's the only way. Otherwise, you'll be stuck in this hyper PvP cannibalistic environment where you're just trying to fuck your followers and you're just trying to scam your friends. The only way to actually win is to grow way beyond crypto Twitter. But for that, there needs to be a critical mass of people that are all working together under one cause. Why do I like SPX 6900 the most? Because it's the only coin with a mission. It's GME on steroids. It's the next GameStop. It's the next big thing. It's Bitcoin 2.0 for Zoomers. And you know, we cannot talk about SPX 6900 without talking about the plight of the young people. I was talking to some boomers earlier this week, and they were like, you just gotta pull yourself by the bootstraps. Back in my day, and just work harder. Back in my day, I would just walk into an office, give them a firm handshake, and I would just get the job on the spot. But people don't understand, between all the offshoring and the hollowing out of the middle class, hollowing out of the manufacturing sector, between everything, all the jobs they send abroad, and now all of that has happened before AI is even a thing. Your grandpa was buying mansions for $20,000, but now you have to slave away. You have to take out a 50-year mortgage just to get a shack, for a dog. You know what I mean? So obviously,
Fucking boomers took advantage of us and everybody
obviously the
else.
system, the system is not working for young people. They're massively frustrated. They're not doing shit. Unfortunately, 75% of them are sedated. They're essentially drug addicts, sedated on either doom scrolling or porn or video games. So essentially, SPX 6900, it offers a way out. We're essentially building something that's going to be bigger than GameStop. And this is how you win.
You had a list come out. Besides SPX being on it, I think you had a poo on it. You had a bunch of others on there that you believed in, but you did leave out Pepe. Why'd you leave out Pepe?
So when I was creating my list, and that was summer of 2024, I was simply looking for communities that are the most cult-like. And the way I decided on that was I would essentially tweet about memes from one angle or another 5 times a day. And then I would sift through my comments and I would check which communities and which tickers showed up the most. And this was over a year ago. This was like 18 months ago, before there were fewer bots on Twitter. And I saw essentially my whole list was people that were showing up in my comments the most. And that was the filter that I used to figure out what the cult-like communities are. Again, I've been in crypto since 2013. And back in 2023, I asked myself, what's going to win, right? And to answer that question, I said, what were the winners in past cycles? Again, BTC, Ethereum, Cardano, Ripple, Chainlink, etc. What do they all have in common? Doge, SHIB, etc. Right? What do they all have in common? Is that they have a cult-like community. It doesn't matter if it's a tech coin or a meme coin. What matters is that the community is insane, crazy community, passionate, onboarding on the streets. Having events, going crazy, stickers, merch, just going crazy on every channel, and that's how you win, right? And so I was looking for something where people are literally insane, making it their whole identity and working on this 18 hours a day. And that's what I was seeing. Obviously, by then we've already seen the whiff pump. We've seen Popcat pump kind of. And I was looking for another 8 or 9 coins. So my thesis was, let me invest in an index of cults. I don't know who's going to win. I don't know who's going to grow more. But as I was essentially learning more, studying more, I was adding cult by cult.
Is there anybody that you regret not adding onto that list? Obviously, you put out a list. You have a platform. Everybody's going. Either everybody's going to cheer for you, or there are going to be people that are going to be disappointed. Is there one or two that you wish you would have added onto the list?
I believe that crypto meme coin game is increasingly about loyalty. You started off this call by saying that, oh, everybody is, cannibalizing, everybody's rotating, no one has any patience. And not having any loyalty in your life is a big issue. And that is why the market is so rotational. So my thing is, I have to stay as loyal as I can for as long as I can. And this actually shows respect to my existing list and to my existing coins. Because if I start changing stuff, if I start adding stuff, if I start rotating stuff, then that just shows that I'm not a loyal person. If you actually think from a philosophical point of view, what these coins are, they're actually tokenized communities. I like to say that they're actually tokenized mini churches, and they're competing against one another for belief, for spirituality, for supporters, in essentially in a socially Darwinian fashion, right? And if I start going from one thing to another or whatever, changing, rotating, then that just shows that I'm not respecting the community. So I have to continue sticking with my word. And if these things are tokenized communities, then I have to continue staying loyal.
You on a recent podcast, you said that we will I'll paraphrase, and I might be wrong, but I think I got the clip right. You said we won't see another altcoin season like we saw last cycle. Why?
So I believe that this time around, there's going to be what I call selective alt season, which essentially instead of like 300 coins going up, there's probably going to be more like 10 to 15 coins doing well. Why? Again, because at least so far, we've had quantitative tightening, which made the space very much competitive. You know, typically, historically in crypto cycles, QT is quite bad for altcoins, especially in Bitcoin terms. And you have the whole pump fund launchpad thing, which means that essentially the what I call coin production per day is going to keep going up. You know, we had 100,000 coins in 2022, and now we have 17 million coins. And eventually we're going to have 100 million coins. I'm sure you understand where I'm going with this. So this means that it's going to get more competitive, which means that the only coins that are going to win are those that have insane cults, insane diamond handedness, insane loyalty, right? And so I think it's also good to invest in category leaders, right? You choose a category and you just invest in the leaders like top one, top two. Why? Because actually, I made a video about this on YouTube called How to Make 100x in Crypto. And I go through kind of 16, 17 reasons and 16, 17 factors, which help you kind of choose the best coins. So essentially, I believe the space is maturing. The space is going to be more competitive. Moving forward, the number, like on the medium term and long term timeframes, the number of altcoins that are going to keep outperforming BTC is going to be fewer and fewer. It truly needs to be something special, right? That's why, again, stop trading and believe in something.
If I would you agree if I said that retail hasn't come here yet? Would you
No,
agree with that?
I think retail is not here this cycle. I think they briefly. So you know how I know this? Actually, if you
No, no, I'm
measure,
saying like I believe retail has not come in the cycle at
no,
all.
retail has not come in this cycle. There was like a 2 week period where they kind of came in December 2024, but that's it. And by the way, you know how you can measure this? You know, obviously like Coinbase rankings and App Store and all that, but also if you look at like the top 30 KOLs on crypto Twitter and you look at their followings, like they're all like grinding very slowly this cycle, essentially flat, and they had like a brief spike, and I saw the same with my following as well in December and January of this past year, and since then it's also been flat again. So generally, retail was not a very big part of this cycle. Again, I think it's because the handful of retail that did come, they mostly got scammed on pump fund shitters. Excuse my French. And because of quantitative tightening, essentially retail like didn't have that much money. But now, you know, Trump is promising that he's going to send 2,000 to every person, which I think ultimately will trickle down to the crypto economy and especially the cult economy.
And that's what I've been saying. A lot of, for me personally, I didn't see retail here. I guess we can talk about the 2 week, the brief 2 week retail visit here, tourist visit. But I don't believe they've even entered. They're way too. When you look at data, too much debt. Credit card debt is at 1.7. What is it? 1.27 trillion dollars. I think they're more. And by the way, there's no stimulus that has gone out. You mentioned QT. All these things are play a factor. So for me, I haven't personally this cycle seen retail. I think we haven't even. I'm going to say something that I've been saying for the past few weeks. I don't think we even started here. All we see or all we have seen is an institutional run here, an institutional bull run. Would you agree with that?
Yes, this entire cycle was driven by ETFs and digital asset treasuries.
Retail comes here. What is the total market cap that we see total for this industry? And then give me the total market cap that you think we hit in the memes.
So I think, you know, depending on the time frame, but I think 10 trillion for crypto as a whole is my take. And I think, you know, 500 billion, 1 trillion for memes as a whole.
Okay. Where do you see a retail? Obviously, it all depends on if these checks do get sent out, the tariff checks. to, especially to American citizens that we're talking about here, $2,000 checks for individuals. I believe it's making under $7,500 or less. They start coming in. When do you think this happens? When do you think we see an uptick in traffic here? Is it quarter one of 2026, quarter two? Where when you look at all the stuff that you have laid out on your table, where do you see us finally going upwards here in these markets?
Next 3 weeks.
You think it's 3 weeks?
Yes.
Why? Give me like, well, give me your thesis on why 3 weeks from now we'll see slowly the traffic start coming back in here and people starting to believe. And hopefully, this is where I'll give you my second question after you answer the first one.
I think BTC is bottoming here. Obviously, any kind of altcoin, whether it's a meme or a tech coin, is going to be heavily driven by BTC. All of the DAT MNAVs have reset. The government shutdown is over. The funding stress is lower. I think gold has topped. I think copper is going to start grinding upwards. The business cycle has essentially been super flat so far, but I think it's going to keep going higher. And yeah, I think BTC is bottoming. I think BTC is going to 200K. And the category leaders among altcoins are going to outperform BTC in the next 6 to 12 months.
Okay. So in 3 weeks, that's what you see is you're talking about retail slowly trickling in, correct? Will Robinhood be the catalyst for that? Where
So let me give you a third underrated reason why retail isn't here this cycle. And I said the first two were quantitative tightening and the second one was pump fund. Let me give you a third reason. So have you ever thought how crypto people actually get into crypto like for the first time? So the way it happens actually, if you think about it from like a microeconomics point of view, is somebody hears, whether it's their friend or their cousin or their coworker or some kind of a headline, somebody hears about coins going to like 10 billion plus, and essentially that pretty much creates new millionaires, or that creates people that make like 300K, 400K, whatever, right? Plus, and essentially people see their low class friends become middle class. They see stories like in real life, like in their physical reality. They see stories of people like going from middle class to upper middle class or whatever, getting a new watch, getting a new car, paying off their debts, whatever it is, right? And this is what actually gets people in. But in order for that to happen, if you actually study past cycles, you need to have a smaller number of coins that are actually going to tens of billions, and that actually creates headlines. That actually creates stories. That actually gets posted on like Yahoo News or whatever the boomers and the Gen X's are reading, right?
yeah.
And the problem this cycle is, instead of having like 30 coins do these crazy parabolas, instead of that, you now have like 1,000 coins going to like 80 million and then dying, right? And that is the problem. Like that's created this problem. So essentially, we need more parabolas, and we need essentially more stories of coins going to 20 billion, 25 billion, 30 billion plus. And this is exactly why all of the even everybody within the meme coin space, if you want your other meme coins to do well, there needs to be a breakout story within memes, where a meme, it goes from like under 1 billion, it goes to 30 billion plus. You actually, regardless of whether you love SPX 6900 or you're holding other memes, you need for a coin to do this 30 billion, 40 billion story, because that is going to percolate into the real economy, where people are going to be like, oh my God, this guy got rich off of memes. Oh my God, my cousin got rich off of this meme. And this is actually what gets people into crypto. You need success stories. And for a large number of success stories to happen, you actually need something to go to 30 billion. These stories of like things going to like 70 million and then dying forever, that is not enough. That's not going to cut it. That's not going to generate these like robust stories. You actually need like you need on the main pages of CNBC, New York Times. You need to get there, and to get there, you need to go to 20 billion plus.
I feel that retail does that because when retail comes into the mix, retail will throw $100 at let's say we're talking about SPX, they'll throw $100 into SPX. That's their first token. they're going to go crazy, crazier than somebody who put in 50 grand into the token. You would agree with that, right?
Yes, and actually, this is a very good point you bring up. We actually measure this on chain, and we call this average investment or median investment. And actually, for an average meme coin, a retail person invests $40, which is like a crazy small amount. But SPX 6900 has a much bigger number. I believe it was $600 the last time I checked, which is huge. Which means that every new holder that SPX recruits, that's like another coin recruiting 15 people, right? So essentially, instead of recruiting barbarians, we're recruiting legionnaires, so to speak, right? And essentially, we are recruiting quality people that are investing a much bigger percentage of their portfolio, that are investing a much bigger percentage of their paycheck. And we have a DCA culture. The only two other assets that have a DCA culture, huge ones, are Bitcoin and SPX 500. And I would say Giga, to some extent, has a DCA culture as well. So it's very important to have a DCA culture because people are just going to be gradually gobbling up supply, and supply is gradually going to be going into the hands of true believers, which means we're slowly reaching a point where there's going to be a supply shock. And once there's a critical mass of demand coupled with that supply shock, you're going to see a parabola. And I think in the coming weeks and months, SPX is going to go to $3, $4, $5, and then it's going to go to $50 plus. And that's what I expect to happen.
Murad, when we look at the meme economy, you have Solana that's in the mix big time now. Who wins? Is everybody going to come home to Ethereum, or are we going to see Solana take a lot more mind share here?
Honestly, I think there's probably going to be like 2 winners on ETH and then like 4 or 5 winners on Solana. I think that's a realistic outcome. I like both. I think you should have exposure to both ETH and Sol, and also exposure to their top cults. The way I see it is, ultimately, it's not about the chain, it's about the people. But the problem with Solana is there's too much temptation, right? It's like there's always something going on. There's like 10,000 coins being created per hour. There's always temptation to gamble. If you have funds on Phantom, if you have Sol on Phantom, you always want to, let me buy this. Your group chat friends are sending you that. There's always a temptation to gamble. With Ethereum, there's 2 big things. First of all, there's just more money on ETH overall. Second of all, the people that are on ETH, that core group, they have been through a couple of cycles already. They know from Chainlink and from other coins, the only way to win is to actually diamond hand for like 2 years, 3 years, and then you see a parabola. So you just have like a bigger diamond handed culture. You know what I mean?
Why have you seen the current situation here in the last few days? People have been making tokens that have been on Ethereum for, let's say, from a year to 5 years. They've gone over to Solana and recreated the token, and they're trying to bring everybody over to Solana. Do you think that's just a little phase here before everybody just collects on Solana and comes back to Ethereum? Or do you think like some of these memes, some of these dope ass memes that do have lore and history to them, do you think they stay on Solana?
Um,
I don't know if you watch these vamps, but there's been like people just
yeah.
recreating, recreating these assets on Solana right now through Pump Fund, and we've seen Wojak is on Ethereum, but now it's on Solana. Now you have people recreating Bobo on there, a pool. You have a lot of people that are trying to send things on Solana now, saying, you know what, Ethereum hasn't done shit here. We've
Yeah.
waited patiently. We've had diamond hands. We want to go to the playground as well. You think that's just a phase here before people just, some people will profit off of this and come back to ETH? Or do you think some of these might stay on Solana and some might die on Ethereum?
It's hard to say, but I think usually the OG is better. A lot of these vamps, just think about it. If you are the kind of person that's going to vamp an existing project, then at the same time, you're statistically likely to be the kind of person that's not going to persist forever. So I think these are essentially scumbag moves. Ultimately, though, I'm a big fan of coins that already are established on as many chains as possible. So, for example, SPX 6900, it was actually the first chain to go from Ethereum to Solana and to go from Ethereum to Base, and it's all the same coin. They're all connected through bridges, right? So that's actually how you defend yourself against vamps.
Episode 619, the breakdown, sponsored by Gemini. Trade $1,000 in crypto, get $100 in Bitcoin. This is a good, honestly, this is a good conversation because, look, in 2016, 17, I went on national TV and they invited me and they consistently invited me to talk about Bitcoin. I went on there and I said Dogecoin. And they all looked at me like I was absolutely batshit crazy. And they're like, why? And I said, because it's easier. They're relatable. Memes are just relatable. People understand them. If I start talking to you about block wars, I start talking to you about blocks and how it works and mining, like I lose you in the first 2 minutes, or if I get 2 minutes of your time. But if I sit down with you and we have a conversation about memes and I show you a picture of a Pooh or of a Pepe, or even if I channel SPX into the mix, I see the lovely sign in the background, dope right there. People will relate to it more. They'll say, you know what, fuck it, I'll throw $50 into this. And then they start looking and participating, and then they become cult fans of the product that they go into, especially the first product they go into. Think about XRP. You mentioned that earlier. A lot of people saw XRP on CNBC and they rushed into XRP and they held, or most of them held ever since then, diamond holders, real diamond holders. I'm just, honestly, I'm really fucking upset with this cycle. I don't even want to say that we have a cycle anymore, but I guess I'll just call it for what it is so people have a better understanding. Okay, cycle. I'm just upset with these launch pads. We don't need 95,000 launch pads. Rewarding creators, or I should say creators, deployers, not developers, but deployers with revenue. It really destroys the shit that has been built here. It really does. But I believe the real developers here, people with real vision, will bring back the meme economy. So there is massive hope here, and I don't believe we have even fucking started yet. Yes, we had things go up in the meme economy 100%, but I don't think I don't even think we've touched the surface, because again, I go right back into it, and I know you're in a full agreement with me here. Retail isn't here, and retail does everything to go ahead and send it. I believe that
David,
truly.
David, let me tell you something. The bull market hasn't even begun.
I agree with you. I say this, and people say, "Well, you're a fucking idiot." I go,
Yep.
Tell me where it's like honest conversation here. Tell me where it's become, besides Bitcoin. We all have Bitcoin, great. Well, nobody's celebrating out here. I know what everybody did. They saw last cycle. They missed out on the alts. They saw that alts went up by 30, 50x, whatever. Okay. So they took money. I know this because I have friends who have taken money. They took money out of Bitcoin and Ethereum and they put it right into the alt and meme economy, because they felt like, okay, this is going to blast off, and then I'm going to take my profits and then I'll get my Bitcoin. Now they're sitting here complaining like, or thinking that the altcoins are never going to pop off again and the memes are dead. I believe otherwise. I believe that we have been here. We just came really early to the party. We're at the pregame. We're at the pregame. That's what I believe. We're at the pregame. The party hasn't started yet. We're just chilling. We're just here first, waiting for everybody to come in for a catalyst. We had a catalyst, and that was Wall Street Bets. I fully believe the catalyst last cycle was Wall Street Bets, when we had GMC, we had GameStop, we had AMC, excuse me. We had retail come together, being led by Roaring Kitty. Shout out to him. People were passionate. They're like, oh my God, we have an opportunity. The elites were halting and preventing from retail from winning. And after that, they came, obviously Robinhood was a big catalyst. They came through Robinhood and they got into Dogecoin, and then they got into other memes within our economy. I believe the same thing will happen. We just need a fucking catalyst, and we are the catalyst. So one thing that I got wrong for a few months, I was like, we have to wait for this catalyst to come when we are the fucking catalyst. We are the ones who can go ahead and send this shit to Valhalla, the shit that we say consistently. Your thoughts?
Be the catalyst that you want to see in the world.
Love that. I love that. I really appreciate what you've done out here, man. At first, when you popped up on the scene, I'm very transparent. When you popped up on the scene, I'm like, where did he come from? It's because I seen your speech at Token 2049. Everybody fell in love with it. I think what you did better than anybody here in this space was you took a spreadsheet that people, weren't accustomed to, and you broke shit down in layman's terms for the people. Uh, and one thing that you do have going for you, which I stood back, I wasn't so sure, but you are you come from the TriFi world, and you are the mouthpiece that can go ahead and get TriFi into this awesome fucking economy. So I respect you now for everything that you've done in your grind.
Appreciate it, and likewise. And
Thank you very
I
much.
would strongly, I would
Go ahead.
strongly, first of all, thank you for having me. I've been seeing a lot of your tweets. For the past 6 weeks or so, you've been saying that we all need to get together under one coin. So I don't know what you're thinking in your head, but I would strongly encourage you to increase your stake in SPX 6900. This is the next GME. This is the coin that we can realistically take to 100 billion plus, and we would love for you to be a part of that story. And for everybody who's watching right now, take another look at SPX 6900, the most loyal community, the kindest community, the community that's going everywhere on the streets of London, Melbourne, Seattle, everywhere. We're onboarding as many people as we can, and we have a lot of amazing things in the works.
I said that we all need to all of the big brands here, and media personalities and content creators need to sit down at the same table and finally send one. I believe that. Like anytime I say that, the people rally around it. They want it. You know what? People are fucking tired of losing. I can't fathom people waking up in the fucking morning excited to go and chase shit on Pump.Fun. I can't see it. Respectfully to Pump.Fun, but I just can't see people waking up energized to say, you know what? I can't wait until I catch one after losing their asses on 34,000 fucking tickers. So we have to find a way to all collaborate, put egos to the side, and send something. If it's SPX, so fucking be it. I don't give a shit. I care about this fucking economy. I care about the meme economy itself, because if one goes, the legitimate ones will follow. That's all I give a fuck about. But I appreciate that. That was Murad.
Absolutely.
Murad, I would love to have you on. I'd love to have you on my podcast so we can go actually deeper into everything. Hopefully, we can go ahead and link up.
The next time I'll come on episode 669.
I've marked that down. We'll go ahead and have my staff go ahead and reach out to you. We'll bring you back on. We'll see where we're at. Thank you, man. That was man. That guy knows his shit, man. I had a lot of you guys know. You guys know when, and I'm honest. I told him when he popped on the scene, I was unsure because we've been through a lot in this space. I know of him because he's been here. He's been here. I've seen him. I've seen him during my time in crypto. Intelligent, very intelligent. My thing was, I don't know. I'm very protective of the meme economy that we've built out here. I'm very protective of it. I've gotten shit for it. I've gotten shit for appearing on mainstream media talking about Dogecoin. You guys know. I don't have to fucking tell you. I got shit for it. People looking at me like I'm fucking crazy, but I really believe the memes are so fucking important. It's a fucking middle finger to the elites. I love the fact that he fucking. I love the fact that he mentioned. I love the fact that he mentioned the old culture, the cypherpunk era, man, of pointing middle fingers to the elites. I love that. I can't stand, like, for me personally, I understand decentralization. Great. Love it. I'm a little bit disappointed. You guys know. You've listened to the podcast long enough to understand I'm disappointed because Satoshi's vision wasn't to go ahead and sleep with the banks, sleep with the elites. They never gave us an opportunity. They didn't give your family an opportunity to go ahead and take advantage of the opportunities, then at least in the United States of America, if you're from here. These people run the world. Remember what I said yesterday or a year and a half ago? 44% of Wall Street, 44% of Wall Street was owned under Biden. 44% was owned by foreign entities. That doesn't make sense. When retail rallied together, when retail fucking came together, it was a beautiful sight. I was so happy to see retail, Wall Street bets, when retail came together, just everybody, yeah, basically kind of singing Kumbaya, but everybody fucking showed up. And we fucking gave it to the hedge funds. It was a beautiful fucking thing to see them cry on CNBC and on Fox Business and say, how dare retail win? That's what they were called. They don't know what they're doing. That's what they were saying. Some of my friends who work in Wall Street would tell me, you guys don't know what the fuck you're doing. And I told them we're learning on the job. No worries. I hate what is fucking happening here right now. 100%. That's why Alan won't come on my show, because he knows I don't like what's happening. I don't. I'm not trying to go ahead and catch anybody in a aha moment, but the launch pads, and yes, okay, we're in a fucking decentralized space. I'm going to hear it nonstop in my DMs and these conversations. But there was a time where we had developers that were building, that had vision and uniting. There is nothing that is uniting anybody. Nothing. Not a single goddamn thing right now is uniting people in this space. Period. We have fantastic fucking memes. He just came on here, talked about SPX. You saw his passion for it. Whether you like it or not, rally around something. People didn't get Dogecoin at first, but you know what? They rallied. Shiba Inu showed you that we could do it, right? Shiba Inu was kind of like the asset that showed you we can have just more than one, and memes do work, right? Shiba Inu did that. I will always respect that because they came at the door. And then I kind of, it was funny because I got stuck in the middle because I said, okay, I'm in Doge. I'm going to go into Shiba Inu too. And then like you had the maxi started, like, how dare you? But it's not how dare you. You just saw the cult-like behavior. And one of the cult-like behaviors was 5 days in, I had a video sent to me by some guy boxing, saying that he wants to fuck me up because I'm not supporting Shiba Inu and I'm putting it down. And I said, hold up. These fucking people, like, this is a fucking religious cult. I can't fade a cult. These motherfuckers will run through a fucking wall. And I'm watching this now. I'm watching this right now. This is what I'm watching right now. I'm watching dog shit. I'm watching people run around chasing dog shit rather than believing in something. Just believe in something for once in your goddamn lives. For once. Anyway, we'll be back right after this commercial break. This commercial has been sponsored by Gemini. Go to Gemini.com/David G to learn more about Gemini in his lineup of credit cards. Welcome back to episode 619, sponsored by Gemini. Trade $1,000 in crypto, get $100 in Bitcoin. I apologize if I got too amped up here. I apologize. Absolutely. You know what? Fuck that. I don't apologize for shit. I don't. After seeing what's happening out here in these streets, I don't apologize for anything. I'm actually very fucking disappointed. I am fucking tremendously disappointed. This is not crypto. This is crypto eating itself up. Thank God retail isn't here. I'll say this. Thank God retail isn't here. I'm happy that retail is not here. Okay. So don't have to watch this crock of shit, this dog shit that's happening out here. I'm happy they're not here. You know, I've been vilified from some aspects for supporting memes by my brothers and sisters in the Bitcoin community, by my brothers and sisters in the ETH community. They hate or hated the fact or still hate the fact that I embrace the memes because my brand stretches further and could help them in the process. Shed light on Bitcoin because nobody can break down Bitcoin like I can. Have you watched people talk about Bitcoin? It is boring as fuck. Okay? Anytime I tune in to somebody talking about Bitcoin, I want to take this keyboard that's right on my desk right here, right now, and I want to slam it into my face. That's what I want to do. It's like putting on C-SPAN and listening to people call in and talk about some I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Because by the time halfway through the conversation, I'm sleeping. Bitcoiners were always disappointed. Or I should say Bitcoin maxis were always disappointed with me choosing to rock with the memes and rocking with Ethereum. They were always disappointed with me. They hated the fact that I liked other things in this space. And I always fought them on it. Starting with, well, we can go way back into where I started fighting with them. But if we're talking about social media, I fought with them on Twitter. I fought with them on Clubhouse. Not fought, but conversations were heavy. Okay. And they were just like, why can't you be the guy that just goes there? I did go out there. I went out there outside and I talked about Bitcoin. What do you mean? How dare I? I talk about Bitcoin, but guess what? I like other things as well. You know, I like vanilla and chocolate. I'm sorry if one is your preference. People fucking vamping shit. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Like, seriously, what the fuck is wrong? You think that you're doing something good for this space? You actually think by doing all this shit that you're doing something fucking good? What are you doing? You're not doing anything. What you're doing is, you know what you're doing? You're gonna have people stop believing in the meme economy, and you're gonna have them go and just put their money into Bitcoin. But put their fucking money into Ethereum and Solana, and that's it. They're not going to participate in this shit. And if they do, they'll maybe they'll just throw $1 in. That's what you're doing. That is what you're doing. KOLs, like these motherfuckers have given up. KOLs are gone. They're done. They're finished. They're cooked. They are cooked. Overcooked. How about that? Overcooked. Had Murad on today. Episode 619 had Murad on today. We have a lot of great guests coming on throughout the next few weeks. I'm happy that you guys are enjoying the DG brand. Okay. I was going to ask him one last question, which I'll ask him. Maybe I'll bring him on. Oh, maybe on episode 669. What was it? 600 to 600. What was it? 669? I was going to ask him about the prediction markets because I feel like, and I've tweeted about this, that the prediction markets will cut into some of the money that was supposed to come into the altcoins and obviously the meme economy. I think it cuts in a little bit here. I think 5%, maybe 10% of it goes to the prediction markets, to obviously Poly Market, which signed a huge deal with the UFC. They signed a deal with the NHL. Now the UFC, they seem to be signing deals with everybody. The volume is up, and then not even in the United States of America. So that says a lot in terms of who's going to win, right? Like when you look at it, you sit back, who is going to win? It's probably going to be Poly Market when it comes to prediction markets. If you take away anything that Murad said here today, I talked about the list, and he said, I can't, I'm loyal. I can't put nothing else on there. I got to stick with what I put on. I like the fact that he elaborated on the list, and he said the way that I got to the tokens or the assets that I put onto this list was I sat back and I watched the replies. to my tweets. That was interesting. Before the bots came in, by the way, all these AI fucking replies, even from now accounts having their Twitters set up with AI, it's this whole generation is fucked. Like this, you don't even get to speak to real people anymore. You can't even have a real conversation because you guys have your shit on auto AI replying to messages. Yeah, you guys remember going outside and playing in the playground and getting scratches on your elbows and knees? Man, anybody remember playing basketball or hockey or football without a helmet? Like, anybody remember climbing a monkey bar in New York City and hoping to God that you don't fall off because there were crack needles on the floor? Anybody remember these days? It's Friday. It is 2:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, November 14th. We are 16 days away from one of the biggest events of all time, and that is the day that David E. Gokhshtein was born. That's right. There's a reason why they have Thanksgiving week or weekend in the mix, because you should be thankful that my ass still does a podcast and a live stream for you guys, because I don't know if you deserve it. Okay? With your awful behavior. Your awful behavior in these markets. I don't know if you deserve me. I don't know if you deserve me. Okay? I don't know if you deserve me. I don't know. Speaking of politics, now the Democrats look stupid because they've been lying their ass off, making up emails, making up stories about Trump, calling him a pedophile. MSNBC is about to get sued out the ass. CNN as well. All these people that ran with stories that weren't true, now they look like fucking schmucks. That's what they look like. You look like idiots. You look like idiots. Okay? You were idiots before, now you really look like idiots. One of the greatest presidents of all time. By the way, Eric Trump, even though you will be coming on this podcast or this live stream or this show, I just want to tell you, if you mention the word buy the dip one more time, I'm deleting my account. Or I'm going to ask you to delete yours. I'm just fucking around. It's all jokes. Actually, it's not a joke, man. Stop saying it, man. Stop saying it. We need to rally. We really, my message to you guys is we really need to rally behind one. And I've said this so many times. We really need to rally behind one asset. And if that one asset sends, it'll mean all the other really good, top-notch memes will go along with it. Okay? I believe that. I wholeheartedly believe that that will be the case. I've been here for a very long time. We just need a reset. We need to believe again. That's what we need. We need belief. We need that belief that, you know what? It can happen. With everything that's out here, it can still happen. We can still send shit. We can still make this into a great sector within this ecosystem. I believe it will happen. Okay? I believe we have a lot more people in this space now than we had when I was talking about Dogecoin and Turtlecoin, okay? We have more people here now who love the memes and embrace meme culture than we had 10 plus years ago. We have that here now. It is up to us as we need to come together as one cohesive working unit. We need leaders to drop their egos. I'll drop mine if you drop yours, and we sit at the same table and we change this shit around. That's what leaders do. We need to sacrifice some of this shit in order to go ahead and reclaim our culture from this absolute and utter dog shit that does not belong here. That's what we need. And I don't care what it is. At this point, I don't care what the asset has to be for us to go ahead and sit at the goddamn same table and go and send some shit to billions on some GP, on some real shit where it restarts and re-energizes everybody to sing Kumbaya, Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya. And we're out here really building visionary shit that might one day turn into something that is real. Inspire people to continue to build, support the builders in this space. Because if we support them and they keep building and we're investing into them, then that means they win and we win also. At some point, we got to realize this. Otherwise, all this is a sales convention with people selling their utter dog shit to each other. It's not going to work, okay? Everybody's selling everybody something. And the mentality is, and I know this mentality, you guys have this stupid fucking mentality of, I want to be the top 50 holder. Unfortunately, I'm not the top 50 holder in Dogecoin. I'm not the top 50 holder in Shiba Inu. I'm not the top 50 holder in Pepe, okay? And that's perfectly fine. You can still make great gains by not being the top 50 holder, okay? You guys are so stuck about getting low entry, 5K entry market cap fucking points that you're missing the goddamn plot. What good is holding 20% of dog shit when it isn't sending? I'd rather have 0.5% of something than 100% of nothing. And once you guys understand that, once you understand that you'd rather have 0.5 of something, 0.3 of something versus 50% of nothing, you will start succeeding in this space. And I'm telling you right now, I don't give a shit. Clip this up. Know this. I've been saying this and I'm screaming it to the rooftops. We have not started our cycle yet, if that's what you want to call it. We have not started a run for retail. Okay, this has all been institutional. Send it Bitcoin, because you guess what? None of you motherfuckers are cheering or happy that Bitcoin is going up. You know why? Because you don't have it. You're not holding it. And if you are, you're bored. You're not happy about Ethereum either. That shit ain't moving. The only people that have been sort of happy are the Solana bros. That's it. We haven't started. Now, with the markets pulling back, you should take every single opportunity to load up that portfolio and be ready for the next send. That's it. That should be your mission. Murad said 3 weeks. I'm thinking Q1. I don't know. If it happens in 3 weeks, God bless him. God bless us and God bless the United States of America. There's way too much good news, and I keep saying this. There is way too much good shit coming out for you to tell me that we are going to zero. That's it. Like, we have clarity, we have investments, we have people talking about the memes, Van Ick, meme index. You can't tell me we ain't going higher. You just cannot tell me we ain't going to Valhalla. You cannot change my thought process on where we are going. We just came early to the party. This is the pregame, so get yourselves ready. So get yourselves ready for the party. That's how I'm going to put it. We'll be back right after this commercial break. Again, the breakdown is sponsored by Gemini. Gemini.com/David G. Go check out the lineup of credit cards. Also, click on the link and sign up. Sign up to Gemini using David's link. That's right. Trade $1,000 in crypto, get $100 in Bitcoin. Terms apply. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the breakdown. It is 2:15. It is 2:15. We had Murad on. Shout out to Murad for coming on. We'll probably sit down. We'll do a podcast together. Why not? Two OGs sit down, we talk about the meme economy for more than just 35 minutes. You obviously understand how this show works, ladies and gentlemen. It's an hour long, though probably in December, we will go and we will start doing this for 2 hours. We'll do it from 12 to 2 hours of content, okay? With people, notable people from this space and outside of it, talking about things that matter, whether it's crypto, finance, because by the way, I am the new voice of finance. Whether you like it or not, we are the new voice of finance. I am the new mouthpiece for finance. And they're going to have to get used to it because you ain't going to get this kind of information on CNN or Fox. That's right. Respectfully, okay? Fox Business ain't going to give you this unless I'm on there. CNBC ain't going to give you this unless I'm on there. We are the new mouthpiece for finance because we are not owned by anybody. We're not scripted. We're not given a script to tell you things and position you in certain ways for you to lose or for you to know just enough. No. We are now the new information highway for anything that is finance. And they know that. That's why they've reached out. But I cannot and will not participate and be owned by a BlackRock or Fidelity. I will stay in my studio with this camera and this setup, and I will bring you content every single fucking day, whether you like it or not. But you will show up and you will enjoy this value that I bring to you. That's right. That is absolutely goddamn right. Anyway, I am 100%, like 100%. We are the new mouthpiece for finance. 100% the new mouthpiece for finance. Here's the quote of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the quote of the day. Quote of the day. Let's see. Let's do this because a lot of people love this. So let's do this. And when I mean love this, they're so focused on this. I think it's fitting. Quote of the day. Normalize not giving a single fuck about these. Stop checking who liked your posts. Stop checking who viewed your stories. Stop checking who unfollowed or followed. Stop worrying about the people or what people think about you. You'll be 100 times happier the moment you lock in and mind your fucking business. Let me read that again because let me read it and scream it for the people in the back. Quote of the day is normalize not giving a single fuck about these. Stop checking who liked your post. Stop checking who viewed your stories. Stop checking who unfollowed or followed. Stop worrying about people and what they think of you. You'll be 100 times happier the moment you lock in and mind your fucking business. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a great week, okay? We only had one no show since I've been on here. One no show, and 619 episodes, only one no show. And not even an email. I was blown away, but it's okay. It is live. It is live television. That's right. This is live television. A lot of people watching this all over the country and outside of it on their apps, on their X apps, on their YouTube, LinkedIn. Shout out to you. TikTok. Thank you so much. You keep on blessing me with views and likes. I appreciate you. I appreciate you a lot. We're going to win. We are going to goddamn win. We are going to win. Okay. Retail will win. Okay. No matter what these institutional players try to do and their quants, we will come out victorious. Not everybody, because a lot of you guys have an attention span of a goldfish, but those who are focused and ready to go ahead and get their hands dirty, we will win. Spot buy, hold, spot buy, hold DCA. That's all you need to know. Don't trade against them. You won't win. You will just not win. And on that note, I hope you mothers fuckers have a great weekend. Okay, I might be back here later tonight. I don't know. I might be filling in for Hotep Jesus on the Friday show. Okay, I don't know. We shall see. Okay, we shall see. That show starts at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I might make an appearance, but if I don't, I just want to tell you guys, do not stop believing in this space. This space will change your life. And I know some people will say for the worse. No. It will change it for the better. Nothing comes without some sort of pain, okay? You need to be broken. You need to be broken in order to go ahead and win out here in these streets. And on that note, I am out. Shout out to Gemini for sponsoring the show, as always. And as always, the Gemini credit cards, the Solana card, the XRP card, and the Bitcoin card. You can find all these credit cards on Gemini.com/David G. That's right. Go to Gemini.com/David G. And also sign up for Gemini. Click the links that I have on my bios and sign up to Gemini. Trade $1,000 in crypto, get $100 in Bitcoin. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 619 of The Breakdown, sponsored by Gemini, produced by Gokhshtein Media. We'll see you on Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.